Hello, in this video I'm going to show you how to place a window to frame out a window in this wall section that we previously put together in the previous video. But we're going to put a window in here. Okay, so there's a couple of things that we're going to do in order to make that happen. We're going to do some trimming of geometry and things like that. Our window is going to be 3 by 5, 3 feet wide by 5 feet tall. And we're going to put it within 24 inches of the ground. I think we can get it at 24 inches. Well, actually, yeah, let's do 24 inches. So to start with, how do I do that? Okay, I'm going to do a series of, basically some offsetting and things like that to actually frame in the window. To start with, I'm going to take this bottom sill here. I'm going to actually use the very, very bottom sill. I'm going to offset that 24 inches. So basically my window is going to come 24 inches from the ground. So I click on that, and there is the bottom of my windowsill. And of course I want my window to be 3 feet wide. So I am going to, let's see, the best way to do that is really just to pick a spot. So I'm going to take a vertical line. I'm going to make it actually this line right here. This line is going to be the left edge of my 3 foot wide window. So I am going to trim out everything beyond that. Trim, and let's see, I think I was still in the offset tool. Type trim. Enter to select all, and then I'm just gonna zero in here, cut that out, cut that out, cut that out, cut that out, oops, that out, and that out. It won't cut, so what I want to do, I'm going to erase. Okay, so there is the left side of my window. Now before I do the, well, I could do the right side this way, and I can offset this line of this stud 3 feet. Okay, so we're going to do offset, and what I'm doing basically is I'm using geometry I already have to kind of help me. That says 2 feet to the existing geometry to kind of help me create new geometry and base things off of that. Okay, so now there's 3 feet right here. I don't need the whole line, and also I have a new cutting point right here that I can establish. So I'm going to do trim again, and then enter to select all. I'm going to trim that out. Sometimes you have to zoom in a little closer. That one, and that one will have to be deleted, but I can trim this one. Select, delete. All right, so now I have the left edge, the right edge. Now I just need the top of my window, which I'm going to use this one and offset this one 5 feet. So offset, distance of 5 feet. And there you see the top of my window. All right, now you're probably saying, well, I've got these studs running through my window. That's perfectly fine, because now we're going to do some more trimming. Now that we've got our entire window established there, type trim, and then enter to select all, and then I'm just going to cut all that out right there. Okay, now these have to be deleted. Right, and let's see what else we got going on. I can use that line. I'm just going to go ahead and delete it because that's just for the purpose of the video. I usually would have left it for whatever reason, but okay, so now we have our hole for our window, and we have to kind of build it out so we can get our header and our seal and our king studs and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so first thing we'll do is we'll put a header in here. We have to have a header, and the order that you do this is not necessarily to go by any certain standards. Just, well, do it. So anyway, my header is going to start. I'll show you an easier way to make your header. Is I'm going to offset this line. Now I'm going to make my header out of a 2x8, so I'm going to offset this line 6.5 inches, or actually 6.25 inches, because a 2x8 is going to be 6.25 inches thick. So offset, and what did I say? 6-1/4 inch, and that's how you have to enter fractions. If it's 6.25 inches, it'll be 6-1/4 inch, or you could say 6.25, which is the same as 6.25. However, that sometimes gets difficult when you get into, say, like 3/16 and things like that, because it's hard to kind of calculate that in your head unless you're used to doing it and you just know what the decimal of 6 and 3/16 is. Then you can go ahead and just type that in. But if not, you can type it in fraction form just like this, and everything will work fine. And let's see, there we go. That's part of our header. Okay, and let's see. We need a line over here. And we need to do some more trimming. And we're going to trim out these boards. And now we're left with these cripples up here, which is exactly what we wanted. And everything is still spaced 16-inch centers. All right, now we have to have one thing I'm looking at here is I made a mistake. This header does need to extend an additional 1.5 inches because we have to put a trimmer in there. So I'm going to stretch that 1.5 inches. I'm going to stretch this one 1.5 inches. Draw a line at the end. Okay, and then I'm going to trim this line out. Doesn't want me to trim, so I'm going to delete. I'll just select it and click the delete button. Okay, now what we want to do, our goal here is to maintain this 3x5 inside here. I don't know why that line is showing up crooked like that. It must have something to do with the resolution. Anyway, this one I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go another 1.5 inches this way, and I'm going to take this one, and really I just take it next to the next side of the stud there. And now I could trim that out. Okay, so now I have my trimmer here is already there. It naturally was there. And here I just want to take this line and offset 1.5 inches. Oops, not 1.54. And now we have that trimmer. Okay, so those trimmers are supporting this header right up here. Okay, and it'll be easier to see once I get in here and do some shading. Now, of course, I want to place take one of these cripples and place it right here for that added bit of support at the end. And I'm just going to copy that. And I'm going to select this as my base point, so I can move it right there. And so I'm going to do the same down here. Now I do need to close that up, I think. I'll figure it out here in a minute. No, I don't want to close that up. Okay. And do that. Take this and copy it over. Picking this is my base point, lining it right there. Okay. So now I've got that trimmer in place. Okay, and let's see, I need to trim that right there, but I'm going to go ahead first and finish out my bottom seal so I can trim several things at one time. And I'm going to offset that bottom sill 1.5 inches. So offset, and already says 1.5. So I'm going to accept that. Okay, and now I could do some more trimming. Get in here close, and I could trim right through that right there, and then trim right through that right there. Okay, so now, okay, just taking a look at the structure. So thus far, I've got my header. I got cripples above my header that goes in that, that additional space. I got my trimmers that are holding my header up, and those trimmers are going all the way to the ground. I've got my bottom or my window sill right here that's resting on top of these cripples. However, we're going to increase that support by making a couple other copies, and we're going to copy this cripple here, and we'll move it with that. Okay, so move it right there at the end, and this one same thing. Line it up. Okay, so now we have that additional support, that additional cripple support right up under that window sill. All right, the next thing we need is a king stud. That can be easily accomplished. Some of these lines probably don't go all the way through, but I'm going to go offset an 1.5 inches. And this one the same thing. Now that one, because it's kind of incomplete there, it didn't go all the way through, so I have to make some additional line displacements. And that one gives me a little trouble. There we go. So now we have everything we need. I think I need to trim something here. I do. Need to trim that out so we can see. Okay, now everything is there. It's all done. We have a window, and there's another little trim, 2 trims we need. So I'm gonna click here, drag, get that one. All right, so there we have our window completely trimmed out. I know it's kind of hard to see. I can see it perfectly fine, but sometimes you're looking at it and you might get the lines confused. In a way to kind of get past that is to do some shading within inside of your studs and your lumber and everything else. And we can just click on the little hatch tool here and find a pattern. I used to have a wood pattern in here, but it really doesn't matter. It doesn't, in this situation here. Let's just use this right here, this little net fill. And let's change the scale. We'll make it a 5. Well, maybe we'll make it a 10. Okay, 10 looks good. That's actually kind of a plywood type of fill. Okay, so we'll fill the, oops. Oh, well, I just kind of undid everything there. My bad. We'll just use that one this time. We'll probably do that one at a 5. Okay, now what I do in order to see this a little better, and of course at this point right here you don't have to watch me do this. You can probably figure this out on your own. But this allows me to see all my different pieces, and as you can see, I've got a really bad mouse here. So anyway, that's how you do this. That's how you make your wall, and of course you can hatch it in like I'm doing here to so that you can see the different parts more easily. and that's it. So again, we just basically would cut a window, a 3x5 window, and we created all of its components. You know, it's king stud, it's trimmer, it's header, it's cripples, it's window seal, and everything else we've created basically by using geometry that already exists, by manipulating that geometry. Okay, and good luck on that.